Recording. Hey Celeste, how you doing?
Great.
Good. You know, today we're just talking about celiac disease, and you, what is your story? How did you become to know that you were celiac?
Well, I do have a gluten intolerance. Almost 2 years ago, I went to a specialist with lots of abdominal pains, and I had a full, what's it called, endoscopy, and it came back negative for everything, even celiac disease. And that was really frustrating because I did do a trial run with no gluten, and I was starting to feel better. But the doctor didn't recognize non-celiac gluten intolerance. And so he wouldn't give me any kind of diagnosis. He just said, you can take these pills for the pain and go on with your life. I didn't think that was a very smart idea, and so I continued to eat gluten-free, and I've taken other things out as I've discovered my other sensitivities, and I've really been doing great ever since then.
What are some of these problems you've had with, belly problems? Yeah, what kind of symptoms were you having?
I get severe tiredness with gluten. I get really tired, and I do, depending on how much I've consumed, depends on how much I hurt.
How big of a life change was it to go gluten-free?
It is a pretty big life change, but like any life change, once you get into the routine, it's like your life was always like that. Once you learn what types of products you can eat, then when you go shopping, that's what you're looking for. Instead of your typical, sandwich bread, you're looking for whatever else you want to substitute. So.
And where do you normally turn to find solutions to replace things?
Solutions like menu solutions.
Yeah.
I found the internet to be a great resource.
Okay.
Specialized cookbooks have been wonderful.
So there's resources out there for you.
There are resources out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them you have to look for, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the benefits of living a gluten-free diet for you?
Oh, for me, there are so many benefits because the gluten intolerance reaction I was having triggered a lot of autoimmune responses. And so I had lots of brain fog. I had lots of allergies because my body was burdened. And so not having those burdens on my body it's made me so much healthier. And I feel like I have so much more energy and can do so many more things.
Yeah. Now, have you found any ways to eat out with gluten?
That is a tricky one. Some restaurants can offer suggestions for that. A lot of the times it's something like just don't have the croutons or don't have the bread with your sandwich type of thing. Some restaurants, they actually do cater to the gluten-free customers, and they'll actually have replacement bread, but that's a really rare thing. That's hard to find.
And is it a frustrating thing trying to find a restaurant you can eat at?
Yes, it takes lots of research. Before my husband and I go out, we get on the computer. If we want to try a new place, we have to find one in our area. We have to see that they have a gluten-free menu, because if they don't, it's not worth going, because then we know the staff isn't trained to deal with those things. So that can be tricky.
And how often do you frequent a restaurant you find that caters to you?
Oh, well, we do have a handful of restaurants in our area that we like to go to, and so we go to those few restaurants quite often when we know it's safe to eat at, and that my husband's not going to want to go somewhere where I'm not going to have a good experience. If I'm going to go somewhere and eat something that makes me sick, that's not going to make it good for him. So having a place where I can eat and not even have to worry makes us both happy. And and we definitely go back to that place.
Now, tell me about your little boy Eli.
My boy Eli was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.5. And surprisingly enough, we both have the same food sensitivities. And so that's kind of a genetic thing that we have. And being on a gluten-free diet and being aware of other food issues he has made such a difference for him. It's really opened up his mind for learning new things. And he's a very different child than he was when he was diagnosed. Much more age appropriate and much more friendly, and he's really excited about life. It's good to see him feeling well and not having abdominal pain and things like that. He's a happy child now. It's wonderful.
Now, do you have any suggestions for those who are starting out in trying to find a gluten-free alternative?
Finding good resources of information is really important. You need to know what ingredients on your products are not safe. You have to learn how to read labels. And learning how to cook for yourself can be a really useful skill. I've learned so many new skills with cooking with our special diet. It's been a really good learning experience.
And you have a blog that you usually use, your own personal blog on your cooking experiences. You want to share that with us?
Yes, my blog is called cjswoodlandshed.blogspot.com, and that's where I talk about my experiences with my son and his in different aspects of his autism condition, and I talk about my experiences with cooking. I do a lot of cooking. That's a big part of my life, so I talk about that quite a lot too.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Celeste. It's been great to have you.